Hi, I'm Pat. I've written this book called Corky's 5-Minute Fairy Tales. Here's a few of my friends that I've written about. The pictures in the book are from this fairy tale artwork. It was drawn by Corky Kennedy. The book has 86 stories and it's available on Amazon.com or at fairytalemural.com. We're going to be reading all 86 stories, so if you'd like to hear all the stories, click on subscribe down at the bottom. If you click the little bell next to it, you'll be notified each time we have a new story ready for you. If you'd like to tell me which fairy tale you like the best, send it in the comments. Here's today's story. Peter Rabbit, page 54. Peter was a little boy bunny rabbit. He lived with his mother and 3 sisters, Flopsy, Mopsy, and Cottontail, in a hole in the ground. Peter played with his sisters, but they were not as daring as he, and he often went in search of more adventure than his sisters wanted to get into. One day, Peter's mother was baking bread. "Now, children, all of you run out and play so I can get my baking done. Don't wander off too far, and be sure not to go to Farmer McGregor's. That is a bad and dangerous place for bunny rabbits to go," she warned. Flopsy, Mopsy, and Cottontail took a jumping rope outside. They began to jump the rope. "Come on, Peter, and jump with us," they called. But Peter shook his head. "I'm going to find adventure. Come with me," he begged. But they would not go, so he went alone. Peter hopped down the road for a time, and then he spied Mr. McGregor's garden. Oh, everything smelled so good. He knew he shouldn't go into the garden, but he only wanted a little nibble. He squirmed under the fence and ran straight for the carrots. He pulled up one carrot and ate it. It tasted so good, he had to have another. He ate that one too, and then he saw the lettuce. "My, that looks good," he mumbled to himself. He hopped over and he nibbled at the lettuce for a while. Then he just had to have a radish, and he ran over to them. But as he sat there nibbling on a radish, he heard footsteps, and there stood Mr. McGregor. "What do you think you're doing eating my radishes?" yelled Mr. McGregor. Well, Peter was off like a shot. He ran, but Mr. McGregor was right out on his tail. Then Peter saw the strawberry patch, and he ran for it. He lost one of his shoes there, so he kicked off the other. Now he could really run. Without shoes, he was much faster than Mr. McGregor, and he soon lost him. Peter hid in the strawberry patch until Mr. McGregor gave up and went back to his work. Peter thought he better be getting back home, and he started off in the direction he had come from. But as he came to the cabbages, he had to stop. Oh, did they smell good. So he sat there and nibbled at the cabbages for a time. My, he was really getting full. He knew he would have to go soon because Mother might be looking for him by now. Suddenly, there stood Mr. McGregor. "Oh no!" yelled Peter, and off he ran. He ran this way and that way, dodging Mr. McGregor. If only he hadn't ate so much, he might be able to run faster. Then Mr. McGregor stumbled and fell down. He wasn't down long, but it was long enough for Peter to get away. Peter shook off his little jacket and ran for the shed. He found a watering can and jumped into it, kind of like this, but splash! Peter hadn't known there would be water in the can. Peter sat there in the can of water for a long time, it seemed, before he began to sneeze. Mr. McGregor had been turning everything over in the shed trying to find Peter, but when he heard the sneeze, he grabbed the watering can. He shook that watering can until Peter fell out, but he just didn't grab him fast enough. By now, Peter was so scared he could outrun anyone. He ran as fast as his little legs would carry him. He scrambled under the fence and he ran for home, escaping Mr. McGregor. When Peter stumbled into his little home, his mother scolded him. "Peter, where are your jacket and shoes? And why are you all wet?" she asked. But Peter couldn't do anything except stand there and sneeze and hold on to his full, sick stomach. Peter's mother had to give him a big dose of medicine and put him to bed, while Flopsy, Mopsy, and Cottontail all had fresh baked bread for their supper. The end. I hope you liked today's story. If you'd like to get a copy of the book, you can get it on Amazon. If you'd like to get a small copy of this print, go to fairytalemural.com. Thank you.